Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, everyone. My name is Chrisnatha Derosier. I am the Masterpiece Maven. I am a certified life coach, and I help women go from confusion to clarity so that they can live their everyday purpose each and every day. And so I welcome you onto our broadcast this morning. I'm so happy to be with you again on our Coffee with Chrisnatha broadcast. Welcome, ladies, welcome. This morning, I want to talk to you about 10 ways to declutter your mind. 10 ways to declutter your mind. Now, I don't know about you, but so much has happened in 2017, and I want to make sure that I can get all this stuff out my mind and make room for all the incredible things that are going to take place in 2018. So are you guys ready to get decluttered? Are you guys ready to declutter your mind and get your mind right and get excited and get ready for 2018? Because to be able to receive all the incredible things that are going to take place, we first have to start with our mind. And so if you are ready to declutter your mind and get ready for 2018, I just want you, if you can, you're not driving, if you can just type in, I'm ready. Type in, I am ready. Because I'm ready, and I hope you are as well. And so be sure to share this broadcast with your friends, your circle of influence, and so we can all be on the same path of getting our mind decluttered and ready to receive all that is waiting for us in 2018. And so number one, the first way to declutter your mind is actually decluttering your physical environment. The first way of decluttering your world and your life is actually starting with your physical environment. What do we mean by that? We mean the space that you live in, your house, your room, your car, right? You have to declutter your physical environment. For some of you, it may be your entire home. For some of you, it might be a certain section or area of your home. But physical clutter leads to mental clutter. Physical clutter leads to mental clutter. And if we're honest, our outside environment, where we live and where we spend our time in our homes and so forth, is really a representation of what's going on in our minds. And so if I am confused, unorganized, and just a hot mess in my mind, just all over the place, most likely my physical environment represents that. And so the first way to get my world decluttered is to start with my physical environment. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're not making your brain work overtime. Some of you can't focus, right? If you're sitting in an office and it's messy, you can't really get your assignments done. You can't get those deadlines reached because you're looking at a physically busy environment. And so it's really important to make sure that your physical environment is decluttered. For some of you, it might be your closets, it might be your bedroom, it might be a certain area of your home. But it's time to let go of those things that no longer serve you. Let go of those things that no longer serve you. How can you do that? You can have a yard sale, you can give things away, you can sell things online, whatever you need to do. Or just throw things away, right? But you have to get your physical environment in order. The second way to start to declutter your life is to write things down. As much as we would like to keep everything in our minds, it's okay to write things down. Have a to-do list. You don't need to keep everything stored in your brain. So you can choose a tool that works for you, whether it's an online app or even a pad and paper, a pad of paper and a pen. Okay, so you can think of it as a storage device for all those awesome downloads and information that you get throughout the day. It can even include appointments, phone numbers, ideas for future projects, and so on. But just make sure that you're writing it down. Okay. The third way to start to declutter your life is to keep a journal. Some of us may feel that maybe we're too busy for this, but just taking 5 to 10 minutes a day, preferably maybe at the beginning of your day or even at the end, but keeping a journal. It's similar to the previous point of writing it down, but this has more depth. It's more than just a list. A journal allows you to download your inner chatter, what's going on in your head, right? And things that interrupt your thought process throughout your day. And so keep a journal, keep something where you can really share your thoughts and how you feel. You can write things that you're worried about, things that you are hoping for, plans for achieving important goals, and things that concern you regarding maybe even people or things in your life. And so I want to make sure that in addition to decluttering our physical environment and writing things down, that we're also keeping a journal. The fourth way to declutter our lives are letting go of the past. Okay, guys, we're almost at the end of 2017. We've been through a lot of different things. We've had great moments with people. We have not so great moments with people. We had amazing experiences and not so great experiences. And we want to let go of those things that maybe have hurt us this year. Things that we can't change, right? Things that we made us disappointed. Things that we probably let down, right? We were let down. And so we can take the lessons from those things, but it's important to let go of them as well. Mind clutter is often related to the past, right? We're dwelling on something, thinking about something, we're overthinking, right? And so most people keep like a large cabinet of mental drawers stored in the back of their minds, and they're filled with mistakes, opportunities maybe we've missed, or people we've hurt. And that's okay, but we want to make sure that we let that go. Take the lesson and let go of the rest, okay? So we want to let go of our past. Take the time to go through your thoughts, but discard those memories that are no longer serving you, because we don't want that to become stress in your life. Number 5. All right, guys, so we're at number 5. We're halfway through. The 5th way to declutter your life. Stop multitasking. Now, I know we are taught, especially as women, that we are supposed to be doing a number of things at the same time. I am guilty of this as well. But I have to be honest with you. And I don't know if you're willing to be honest as well. But as far as multitasking, I am more effective when I'm not multitasking. Because I can do 3 things, but I can do that one thing really, really well if I'm super focused. And so stop multitasking. There are moments where it's necessary, right? We have to literally juggle. However, we want to make sure that we don't make this a habit all of the time. For instance, if your house is a mess and you need to organize and declutter it, how would you begin? You would probably start by choosing one important area. Maybe the kitchen, maybe clearing it off the table, whatever the case is. And so the mental equivalent of this basically is to choose a certain amount of time which you're going to devote exclusively to one important task. Whether it's cooking, cleaning, like I said, sometimes we do have to multitask, right? Because of time and so forth. But it's important to not make this your everyday habit of getting things done. Sometimes you just got to focus. And so multitasking is not something that we want to make a way of life. All right? It can be overwhelming at times. Number 6. The number 6 way of decluttering your life is to limit the amount of information coming in. Now, we are bombarded with information, okay? If you would agree, just say yes. Just go ahead and type in yes. But limit the amount of information coming in. We have so much information that is bombarding us all day. And it literally clogs up our brain. Welcome everyone who's joining us. And so, TV, radio, if you still listen to it. We have the internet, and honestly, we have everything on these smartphones of ours. And so we have news coming in, social media updates, emails, phone calls, text messages. It's just a lot of information. And sometimes it can be overwhelming depending on the information. It could change your mood. And so you want to limit the amount of information coming in. Sometimes you have to put the phone down. Sometimes you have to turn off the television and just say, you know what? I'm just going to take a moment. I'm just going to take a moment. I'm going to step away. I'm going to limit the amount of information that comes into my life and create a space in my brain by doing some of the following things. Okay, so I'm going to list some of those things. I'm going to set a limit on the amount of time that I spend on social media, or maybe even browsing the internet. You know, sometimes you start off with one task, right? You're like, I'm going to look this up. And then you end up with like 10 tabs open. I'm guilty of that, right? 10 tabs open and you're doing 10 things. That goes back to multitasking. And so limit the amount of information that you're taking in and set a limit on the amount of time you're spending on social media, because you can get lost in the scrolling, right? You can start scrolling and then 3 hours go by. Unsubscribe from any blogs or cancel any magazine subscriptions that are not contributing to your quality of life. They're not contributing to your well-being. We don't need all of that. So much of our emails are junk. Unsubscribe. I am giving you the freedom to unsubscribe yourself to things that you don't read, right? So it doesn't clog up your email. And cancel subscriptions that come in the mail that you don't read anyway, that just sit on your coffee table. Make sure that the opinions that you pay attention to come from well-regarded people. Okay, so I have a confession. I have created a little bit of an obsession with looking at comments. I don't know why, but I'm going to stop. If I read an article, I want to see what everyone else thinks. If I watch a video or read a blog, I want to see what everyone else is thinking about it. And so I would read comments. And people or trolls are so mean sometimes in these comments, and I find myself getting upset at them and their point of view in the comment section, right? And I'm like, how could you say that? How could you're so mean, right? And then that changes my entire mood. And so I'm like, why am I so invested in these comments? And so I no longer will read comments. And so I say that to say, not necessarily on my post, but just posts in general. And so I'm decluttering, and part of that is no longer reading comments. Okay. Unless they're on my post. Or something positive. Okay, number 7, be decisive. Be decisive. All right, guys, that's number 7. The 7th way to declutter your life is to be decisive. Some of us really have trouble making a decision. You got to be decisive, okay? If your inbox is filled with documents, but you fail to make decisions on what to do with each one, what will happen? Soon your inbox will be overflowing with letters, bills, requests from prospective clients, and so on. The way to clear your inbox is by making a decision about what to do with each piece of paper that's in there. The same thing applies to your brain. If you put off making decisions, your brain will soon be overflowing with all the decisions that you need to make. So the solution is to be decisive. What's for dinner? Where are we going on vacation? What are my plans for next year? What's the vision for my business? Has it evolved? What do I want to do next? You have to make a decision. Some of us make our decisions based on someone else's perspective. You have to believe in something. You have to stand firm on something. And it is absolutely okay to have an opinion. Having an opinion does not mean you're rude. Having an opinion does not mean you're disrespectful. Having an opinion is healthy, and it means that you are an individual. That is absolutely okay. And you can agree to disagree with people too. That's all right too. And you can do it pleasantly with a smile. Okay? And so be decisive. What do you want? Some of us haven't asked ourselves that question in a long time. What do I want? I know what my spouse wants. I know what my children want. I know what my employer wants. I know what my leaders want. I know what my customers and my clients want. But what do I want? Do I even know? I want you to think about that today. Number 8. The 8th way to declutter your life is to put routine decisions on autopilot. Put routine decisions on autopilot. Okay, guys, we have to try to find ways to work smarter and not harder. We have so many things going on already in our lives, and the last thing we need is to make decisions on certain things every single day that we can just set it and forget it, okay? And so small routines can occupy a lot of your brain space. So this can include things like deciding what to make for breakfast each morning, deciding what you're going to wear each day, or making a decision on what to eat for lunch. Sometimes you don't want to think about it, right? I mean, am I the only one? Sometimes you're like, I don't know. Okay, I just don't know. I can't think about another thing. Somebody decide for me. I'm over it, right? And so you can put these routine decisions on autopilot. For example, if you guys remember when we were children, or at least when I was a child, I would have my school clothes laid out or even set up for work as I got older in the closet. And so it would literally, I would grab it and forget it. Like, okay, it's Monday. Okay, it's Tuesday. The third one's for Wednesday, right? I don't know if anybody on the broadcast is type A personality like me and like to organize everything. But I like to kind of know what I'm doing. So I don't have to think about it because I think about enough in my business, right? And so things like your breakfast and things you can pre-plan. You can pre-plan your lunches. And so you can just grab it and go. So you don't have to think so hard. Early in the morning, the last thing you want to do is make another decision. And so I encourage you to just pre-plan, and so that you can put these things on autopilot. And so you can just not have to think about it. One less thing to think about. Okay. Number 9, the 9th way to declutter your life is to prioritize. Prioritize. Nothing creates as much brain clutter as an endless to-do list. I definitely know that firsthand. Accept that you can't do it all and choose to focus on the things which are most important to you. So make a short list, everyone, of your top priorities and make sure that the bulk of your brain space is devoted to the things on the list. So what is a priority for you? And that is something that you're going to have to really think about, because that's a personal question, right? So what is a priority for you? Sometimes we can have 10 things on a to-do list and we beat ourselves up because we didn't reach all 10. But what's most important? That should be at the top. And did you get to what's most important? The urgent stuff, right? And if you did, then you've had a successful day. And you just go ahead and you just roll over the rest of the things to the next day. But you got to get it done. Add that to the top of the next day. Okay, so don't beat yourself up, but just, you got to think about what's priority. Some things can wait. So don't beat yourself up. It's okay. All right, give yourself some grace. The 10th and last way to declutter your life is to meditate. Meditation is learning to focus the mind completely on the present moment. Meditate. I can even go further and say not just to meditate and get your mind clear. You can even meditate on the Word of God if you are a believer. Okay, to meditate, just to kind of get your mind clear and focused. Take the attention off of necessarily you and the things that you're going through and the things that are taking place in your life right now, but just meditating and just becoming still. Taking your mind through, it's like taking your mind through a car wash in a way. Okay, and having just having unnecessary thoughts washed away. And so you are literally just sitting and being still. How many of us can say we've had a moment of being still? If you're a mommy, if you're on the move, if you're a go-getter, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a businesswoman, sometimes being still is a luxury. But take a moment, be still. And to begin decluttering your world. Mental clutter leads to congestion in our inner world. Remember, we want to be amazing. We want to be a masterpiece, and it starts from the inside out. And so we want to make sure that we are healthy, that we are happy, that we are in a great place from the inside out, because our environment, right, our physical environment is just a representation of what's happening on the inside. So as you start to do the work on the inside, you'll definitely see that on the outside. So I hope that these tips were helpful to you, and I really, really, really pray that you can start to apply them today. So be sure to share this video like we said earlier, and so other people can benefit from these tips as well. And if you're catching the replay, I also encourage you to share this as well. Once again, I'm Chrisnatha Derosier. I'm a masterpiece maven, the masterpiece maven. I'm a certified life coach, and I help women go from confusion to clarity so that they can live out their purpose in their everyday lives. And so if any of you are looking to do that, I would be more than happy to help you do it. And so let's schedule a call and chat. You can connect with me via social media as well as www.imamasterpiece.com, and you can schedule a call with me. And I am having a live masterclass. If you are in the South Florida area, I'm having a live masterclass on November 18th, and I would love for you to come and hang out with me. I can meet you in person, love on you, hug you, and just share with you all these amazing things. So we'll go into this and even more incredible stuff. And so you can find more information about that on the link that I provided in this caption, IAAMevent.com. So guys, have an amazing day, and I can't wait to talk to you soon. I'm a masterpiece, and so are you. God bless you.